Hello everyone. In the previous class, we were discussing about some of the numerical problems related to the methods of expressing the concentration of solutions. And today I am going to start with a new concept of this chapter, that is solubility. In the beginning of this chapter, when I told you about different kinds of a solution, I told that in this topic we are going to study only about the liquid solutions. So when I talk about the solubility, I am going to describe only about the liquid solutions. Let us come to the word solubility. So what is solubility? Ability to dissolve. What is solubility? Ability to dissolve, or solubility is what? Ability of the solute. Ability of the solute. Ability of the solute to dissolve in a solvent. Ability of the solute to dissolve in a solvent. Or the solubility of the substance is the solubility of the substance. Solubility of the substance is the maximum amount that can be dissolved in a specified amount of solvent at a specified temperature. Okay, let us look at the definition of solubility. So what is solubility? The ability of the dissolution, or the ability of the solute to dissolve in a solvent, or solubility of a substance is the maximum amount that can be dissolved, maximum amount of the solute, okay, maximum amount of the solute that can be dissolved in a specified amount of the solvent. See the definition, that is specified amount, okay, specified amount of the solvent at a specific temperature, So what is this? Solubility of the substance is the maximum amount. So maximum amount in the sense what? You cannot add any more beyond the limit, okay. For example, this is the 50 ml beaker, okay. So the capacity of this beaker will be 50 ml and you cannot add more liquid in this beaker because the capacity of this beaker will be 50 ml. That is maximum limit. Maximum limit of this beaker will be 50 ml. You cannot add more solute or any liquid beyond this 50 ml, okay. So that is maximum amount of the solute that can be dissolved in a specified amount of the solvent. Specified amount of the solvent means what? The solute that is being added to the solvent, that solvent will be a specified amount, okay. For example, you are adding 5 gram of solute in a 100, that is 10 ml or 50 ml of water, okay. The specified amount, okay, the specified amount of the solvent means what? If you take some more solvents, if you add some more solvents to this beaker, then the capacity of the solubility will be more, because you can add some more solids to this, because the capacity of the solvent will be increasing, okay. So the volume is increasing, therefore the capacity of the solubility also increases. Therefore why we told the specified amount of the solvent? Because only the specified amount of the solute that can be dissolved in the specified amount of the solvent, in a specified amount of the solvent at a specified temperature. So what is why do we talk about temperature here? If you increase the temperature, then what happens? The kinetic energy of a molecule increases. So if the kinetic energy of a molecule increases, then what happens? The dispersion dispersion of the solute particles in the solution will be increases. Therefore, the solubility may increases. So, therefore, at a specified temperature, the solubility of the substance will be the solubility of that particular solution. So, what is solubility? Solubility is the amount of the substance, is the maximum amount, okay, maximum amount that can be dissolved in a specified amount of the solvent at a specified temperature. So, in the beginning of this chapter, when I'm talking about only the, when I told you that in this topic we are going to study only about the liquid solutions. And what are liquid solutions? In the liquid solutions, always the solvent will be the liquid and solute will be the solid, gas or liquid, or solid in gas, solid in liquid, gas in liquid and liquid in liquid. Okay. So now let us study one by one now liquids, about the solubility of the liquid solutions. So the first one is the solubility of the solids in liquids. Okay, here the solid is the solute, liquid is the solvent. Solubility of solids in liquids. Solubility of solids in liquids. We know that every solute does not dissolve in the, every given solid or the solute does not dissolve in the all the solvents. Okay. It depends on the factors. It depends upon the nature of the solute and the solvents. Okay. So now we are going to study about the solubility of solids in liquids. Here the solid is the solute, liquid is the solvent. Okay. So what are those factors that affects on the solubility of solids in liquids? Okay. There are three factors: nature of solute and solvent, nature of solute and solvent, effect of temperature and effect of pressure. Okay, solubility of solids in liquids. So here the solid is the solute and the liquid is the solvent. Okay. So what type of solution this is? Liquid solution. Solid in liquid type of solution. So what are those factors that affects on the solubility of solids in the liquids? There are three factors: nature of the solute and the solvent, temperature and pressure. Okay. Now let us study one by one. So how does this nature of the solute and the solvent, it affects on the solubility of the solids in the liquids? So I told you that all the solids, they do not dissolve in the given liquids. Okay. For example, sodium chloride or sugar. Okay. Sodium chloride and sugar, these two substances, they dissolve in the water. Whereas naphthalene and anthracene, they do not dissolve in the water. Okay. Sodium chloride and sugar, they dissolve in the water, whereas naphthalene and anthracene do not. Why? What are the reasons behind this? Okay. So sodium chloride and the sugar, they dissolve in the water because the sodium chloride in the sugar is the polar solute. These two are the polar solutes and water is the polar solvent. Naphthalene and anthracenes, they are the organic substances. They do not dissolve in the polar solvents. Whereas the naphthalene and anthracene, they dissolve in the benzene. The solvents like benzene, toluene. Okay. Naphthalene and anthracene, they dissolve in the benzene. Whereas sodium chloride and sugar, they do not dissolve in the benzene. Why? Because sodium chloride and the sugars are the polar solutes. They do not dissolve in the non-polar solvents. The benzene and the toluenes are the non-polar solvents. Therefore, these polar solutes, they do not dissolve in the non-polar solvents. Whereas naphthalene and anthracene, they dissolve in the dissolving? Because naphthalene and anthracene are the organic substances that dissolve only in the organic solvents or the non-polar solvents. So polar solvents, non-polar solvents, non-polar solvents, or we can say that like dissolves like. Okay, like dissolves like. In general, we can say that the intermolecular interactions are, if the intermolecular interactions are same, then only the dissolution process takes place. Because see, the chemical property of sodium chloride in the sugar and the water, they are similar. Why? Because the sodium chloride in the sugar, they are the polar solutes, whereas water, H2O, H plus OH minus, they possess the partial positive charge and the partial negative charge. They are the polar solvent. Water is the polar solvent. Therefore, sodium chloride, the intermolecular interactions of the sodium chloride and sugar and water are the quite similar. Therefore, the dissolution is very easy in case of water. That is, sodium chloride and sugar, they may readily dissolve in the water, but they do not dissolve in the benzene. Why? Benzene is the benzene, toluenes, they are the non-polar solvents. Therefore, they do not these polar solvents, they do not dissolve in the non-polar solvents, whereas naphthalene and anthracene, they dissolve in the benzene and the toluene, but they do not dissolve in the water because the naphthalene and anthracene are the organic compounds. They are the non-polar solutes. Non-polar solutes always dissolve in the non-polar solvents. Polar solutes always dissolve in the polar solvents. That is, like dissolves like. Okay, this is about the nature of the solute and the solvent. Okay. So now I will add solute to the solvent. Solute plus solvent. Equilibrium process gives solution. Okay. So what happens when you add the solute to the any solvent? The concentration of the solute in the solution increases. Okay, the concentration of the solute, when you add the solute or the any solute to the any solvent, what happens? The concentration of the solute in the solution is increases. So that process is called the dissolution. Okay, when you add the solid to the any solid to the solvent, what happens? The solid get dispersed throughout the solution. What happens? That solid, it starts to dissolve in the solution. So such process is called as the dissolution. Okay, such process is called the dissolution. What is dissolution? When you add the solid to the any solvent or any liquid, then what happens? They get that solid particles, they started to dissolve. They get dispersed in the solution. So such type of solution, such type of reaction, such type of solutions are called the, such type of process is called as the dissolution. So when I add some more solid particles, solid or any solute to the same solvent, then what happens? See. So this is the process of dissolution. When I add the solid particle, any solid compound to the solvent, then what happens? The solid particles, they dissolve in the solvent, and such process is known as the dissolution. And when I add some more solute particles, some more solid to the same solvent, then what happens? These solid particles, they collide with each other and they separate out from the solution and they settle here. Okay. See. Assume that these are the solid particles. What happens? See, what happens when I add the solid particle, any solid or any solute to the solvent, what happens? They get dispersed, they dissolve in the solvent and they become a clear solution. Such type of reaction, such process is known as the dissolution process. And when I add some more solid particles to the same or other in other test tube, that solid particle, what happens? The capacity of that solvent is minimum. Okay, the solubility is minimum. When you add some more solid particles to the same that test tube, that liquid containing test tube, what happens? The solid particles, they collide with the solute particles. Okay, that solid particles, some more they dissolved, some of the solid particles they dissolved in the solvent, and other solid, when you add some more solid particles to the that test tube, then what happens, the collision between the solid particles takes place, and the some of the solid particles they separate out from the solution. So such type of process is called as the crystallization. When you add some more solid particles or some more solids to the liquid, what happens, they collide with each other and they separate out from the solution. So such type of process is known as the crystallization. So now what happens, the dissolution process, when you add the, when you keep on adding the solid particles more, and the crystallization takes place as when you how much you are adding the solute particles. Okay, so it means what, the dynamic equilibrium takes place between the dissolution and the recrystallization. Okay, the rate of dissolution is equal to the rate of recrystallization. Okay, so this is all about the nature of the solute and the solvent. Next, effect of temperature. So how does this temperature, it affects on the solubility of the solids in liquids. So as I have already told you that if you increase the temperature, what happens, the kinetic energy of a molecule of particles increases, therefore the solubility increases with increasing the temperature. The solubility of solids in liquids usually increases with increase in temperature. It depends upon the types of reaction. If the given chemical reaction, if it is undergoing endothermic reaction, if it is endothermic reaction, then what happens? The solubility of solids in liquids, delta SH is always greater than 0. It means what? If the given reaction, if it is undergoing endothermic reaction, then the solubility of solids in liquids increases with increasing the temperature, whereas if the given reaction, if it is undergoing exothermic reaction, then the solubility of solids in liquids, it decreases with temperature. Why? Because exothermic reaction means what? What is endothermic reaction? What is exothermic reaction? Endothermic reaction means what? The heat is absorbed in the solution. Exothermic, the heat is produced in the reaction in which heat is produced. Okay, so if you increase the temperature, so what happened? Already the solution is being, the enough heat is produced in this solution, so no more heat is needed to dissolve the solids in the liquid. So therefore what happens in exothermic reaction, the solubility of solids in liquids decreases with temperature, whereas in endothermic reaction, the solubility of solids in liquids, it is increases with increasing the temperature. So this is all about the effect of temperature in the solubility of solids in liquids. I hope you understand. So how does this temperature, it affects on the solubility of solids in liquids? If the given reaction, if it is an endothermic reaction, then the solubility of solids in liquids, it is increases with the temperature. If the reaction is exothermic, then what happens? The solubility of solids in liquids, it decreases with temperature. So this is all about the second effect that affects on the solubility of solids in liquids. The third factor, that is pressure. So this pressure, how does this pressure it affects on the solubility of solids in liquids? You know that the liquids and the solids, they are highly incompressible, whereas gas is highly compressible. So do you think this pressure it affects on the solubility of gas in liquid? Solubility of solids in liquids? No. There is no significant effect of pressure on the solubility of solids in liquids. Why? Because what is the reason? Because the liquids are the liquids and the solids are the highly incompressible. Therefore, there is no significant effect of pressure on the solubility of solids in liquids. Okay. So this is all about the effect of pressure on the solubility of solids in liquids. Okay. So what is solubility? Solubility of the substance is the amount of the maximum amount that can be dissolved in a specified amount of the solvent at a specified temperature. This is the solubility, and there are three types of solubility process: solubility of solids in liquids, solubility of gas in liquids. Okay. If in solubility of solids in liquids there are three factors: nature of solute and the solvent, effect of temperature, and effect of pressure. Polar solutes always dissolved in the polar solvents. Non-polar solutes always dissolved in the non-polar solvents. Okay. And the dissolution, you know the dissolution. What is dissolution? What is crystallization? Okay. And the second effect is the temperature. So temperature is, if the given reaction, if it is endothermic, then the solubility of solids in liquids, it is increases with increasing the temperature. And if the given reaction, if it is exothermic, then the solubility of solids in liquids, it is decreases with increasing the temperature. And the pressure is, there is no significant effect on the pressure, on the solubility of solids in liquids, because the solids and the liquids, we know that they are highly incompressible. Gases are highly compressible. Therefore, there is no effect of pressure on the solubility of solids in liquids. So this is all about the solubility of solids in liquids.